Right, we've been wanting to do this video for a little while actually. This video is really about us sharing our experience of campsites and different types of campsites. We've been motorhoming since 2003. So we thought we'd share our experience about the Caravan and Motorhome Club, the Camping and Caravanning Club, and the various private sites that we visited, including the groups of Tranquil Park and Morris Leisure.
Yeah, and other independent ones.
Yeah, and if you're new to motorhoming or even caravanning, I hope you might find this quite interesting.
Yep. So we started in 2003, and we hired a motorhome, and it was part of a tour. So we went to 4 sites, which were all Caravan and Motorhome Club sites. That was when we decided we liked motorhoming, and we went back from it, didn't we, and put a deposit down on a motorhome. Between then, we've stayed a lot at Ashwell, because that was close to where we used to live when my mum and dad weren't very well. So it was like a little haven for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was only 5 miles down the road, but it's a lovely little site. Yeah, so from 2014 onwards, we've been on quite a few tours because my parents sadly died. So what sites we mainly used have been Caravan and Motorhome Club sites. Now why?
Why?
Why? Yeah, because...
Surely they're more expensive.
You start. Sites we know and love are part of the club network. They're Bunree, Meathop Fell, Inglethwaite Hall, and as I said, Ashwell. I've found it always easy to book a tour that way, because especially now that you create a basket, so I've sort of thought, where are we going to go, and I've got a little route, and I book the first site, then I book the second site, and so on. And then what happens is you pay a deposit, £5 it is at the moment, and then on the day you arrive at each site, they take the balance, or you can decide, no, I want to pay the balance when we arrive. Okay, so we know what's standard to expect from
That's the
their
thing
sites.
about the Caravan and Motorhome Club
Yeah,
site. It's
I mean,
always a good standard. So
it's always clean. I mean, some of
yeah.
the toilet blocks need refurbishing. I mean, one that springs to mind is Bunree, that's been done at the moment. But they're always clean, even if they sometimes are a little bit dated. The motorhome service points now, most of them are the grills, aren't they? That you drive over, which is so much better. The other thing from our point of view is that dogs go free. Important for us because sometimes we have 1 dog, sometimes we have 2 dogs, and if we booked a site where it's per dog, we've had to contact them and say, well, actually we'll be bringing 2 dogs. You know, so they say, oh, well, you know, I was £1 a night for Tara.
Yeah, but there's no extra charge for extra dogs, is there? So,
no, there's no charge for any dogs. As far as I know, there's no limit on the number of dogs either.
No.
But there is a limit on the banned breeds. You can't take a banned breed to a club site.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the other thing for us is, and this is what I was telling you earlier, there's no charge for taking her up with us.
For one site she was looking at earlier was a private site. It was part of one of the groups, and they were going to charge for a motorhome and a car. Now I'm sure we've had the discussion with various people over the years. I can't see what's different between having a caravan and a car on a pitch.
Yeah.
It takes up no more space than that. So I don't see why some sites have to charge for cars when they're being towed behind a motorhome.
No, because I mean, you could take a trailer, and would they charge you for a little box trailer that you would
which would take up as much room as our little car.
As the car, yeah. And so I mean, it varies between £2 and £7. The latest one I looked at was £7 a night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing we like about the CMC is that you can choose your own pitch.
Yeah.
Now we all know famously that we don't like being under a tree. So
whenever we go to private sites, that's the first thing we ask is, can we have either a sunny pitch if it's if it's sunny, of course,
Yeah.
or not under a tree. So then, you know, last site we went to was a bit of a panic because they thought there weren't any pitches that
Weren't under a tree.
weren't under a tree in the area we'd chosen. So
I know. I know.
yeah,
Yeah. So obviously you can choose your own pitch depending on what type of pitch you've booked, and there are service pitches with your own water and waste disposal. There are hard standing pitches. There are also grass pitches now,
Yeah,
aren't there?
yeah.
So it's hard standing with awning, hard standing without awning, and I think there's some premium pitches now where you've got your own hedges and you've got your own barbecue set up.
yeah.
Yeah, so obviously they vary in price depending on which pitch you've chosen.
And also depending on what time of year you're
Yeah,
going as
that's
well, because
right.
they've got this dynamic pricing, haven't they? So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which a lot of other places have. I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of hospitality places do
well,
that.
hotels do it, don't they?
Yeah,
So,
that's right. As I said, we've like the improvements that are happening. We went to Winchester, and toilet block there is amazing, and all the new pitches and everything. So that was a bit of a site that needed updating, wasn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. So other things that we've liked is that the European site and ferry booking. We've booked three or four tours.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
if you took,
exclusively using their European sites, but we booked the Euro tunnel, haven't we? Booked that, and we booked sort of like her first few sites or whatever, and that's easy again because it all goes in a basket. You pay a deposit and then they take the money. We've had a bit of a problem, didn't we? Nomalayan, didn't we, in Luxembourg?
yeah,
Who claimed they hadn't received the money.
yeah,
And we contacted the club by phone, and by the end of the day, they'd sorted it out for us.
well, sorted
and
it
we
for
got-
us, yeah,
Yeah, and we got a refund back.
yeah,
Yeah, and also we haven't had to use this, but we've taken out red pennant insurance, haven't we, for
Yeah.
the motorhome
Yeah.
and for travel insurance.
Yeah, we have got insurance on the Fiat insurance, but we're not sure how good that is. So
No, so we
was
thought,
reassuring
yeah,
to have
we're
that.
away for a month later in the year, and we're going to Ireland.
Yeah.
So we
When-
thought,
Yeah, so we booked a tour in Ireland and we booked a tour in Denmark, and both of those we've booked sites through the club. Not so much in Ireland, but certainly in Denmark.
no, Ireland, I have booked 5 of the 6 sites
Oh, have you?
through the
Oh,
club.
right.
Yeah,
Was I
it's only
thinking-
one. You're thinking of.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Camping and Caravanning Club.
Yeah,
yeah.
that don't seem to have that same European booking
No.
system that they
No,
had before.
they've only got one site in Northern Ireland.
Yes, yeah, but I find their European site booking now, it takes you away to
Yeah.
somebody else's site, and it's
Yeah.
not just campsites, it's
No.
chalets and all that, and I just got lost on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So for Ireland, we booked 5 of the 6 sites we're staying at are through the Caravan and Motorhome Club, and then we're going to a camping and caravanning club site in Northern Ireland. So what do we like about certified locations, and what is a certified location?
Yeah, a certificated location.
Sorry, that was trying to
Certified
catch you
sites,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're small sites that are affiliated to the Caravan and Motorhome Club site. There's a similar scheme called CSs, which are affiliated to the Camping and Caravanning Club. And generally what they are small sites, and they're limited to the number of pitches that they're allowed to have. And it's normally 5 pitches.
Yeah.
So what you get normally is a rural site. Often there are some in towns as well, but you do get a site that's going to be quieter than the big site. So if you're not happy with being on a big site with loads of people and possibly a bit of noise and kerfuffle, then look at the CL. They've got a huge network of locations. You've got how many?
2,500.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
2,500
all over the place.
sites.
I mean, when you look at the map of it, it's sort of
Yeah.
a bit overwhelming. A lot are normally connected to farms, aren't
Yeah.
they?
So if you're not keen on the, some people call them like car parks, and they say they're too open and too much like car parks. Have a look at the CLs there within the Caravan and Motorhome Club site.
I mean, one particular one we liked was the Crofters Snug, wasn't it? Right up the top of
It
Scotland.
was beautiful. It was yeah, just looking out to the ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I like the seals when they have got their own booking system, like the Crofters Snug had.
Yeah.
Some of them we have struggled to get them to answer the phone if we
Yeah.
wanted to book it sort of quickly.
Yeah, but I
that's,
mean, to be
but
fair,
they're running a farm, they're running another business. You know, it's not the only thing they're doing.
no,
So I understand that.
ploughing the fields probably.
Yeah, yes, you could well be. Yeah. Then I just thought about the other members' benefits, and I
Yeah.
think this is often
People don't
mentioned
talk
enough.
about it.
No, there's a club shop offers.
Yeah. And we
There's
got discounts when we bought the sat nav. It's
yeah. So
10% off that, wasn't it?
that's right. 'Cause
Yeah.
we bought the Avtex 2, didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah, and also discounts in shops. I mean, like Mountain Warehouse, places like that.
Yeah, insurance.
Insurance, yeah.
Yeah, we bought our insurance through Caravan and Motorhome Club
yeah.
this time, and found it was cheaper than through one of the bigger names
That's right.
we had
yeah.
previously.
I mean, talking about insurance, I mean, when we tried to arrange the cover for the motorhome last year, the breakdown cover, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We thought we were covered through our
Insurance,
safeguard
let's mention
policy.
them, yeah.
And to our horror, we found that no, we weren't, because we were more than 7.5 long.
Yeah, and if you read the
more
small-
than 3.5 tons.
Yeah, you read the small print, it says that it doesn't cover motorhomes over 7.5 metres in Europe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so they really tried to get us, because we wanted to book that later, didn't we? The really helpful person at the club tried to get it cheaper for us, but
Yeah.
in the end we decided last year we'd rely on the Fiat warranty.
Yeah.
But this year, because we're going for a month, we thought, no, we'll arrange it. So
Although we don't trust Fiat, but
no, but
you
it's
don't know who you're going to get, do you?
No.
They may turn up with a truck that's not big enough.
enough, and that's right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully if we need to go on Red Pennant,
We've heard some good stories
We
about
have
Red
heard
Pennant.
really good
Yeah.
stories about it.
Yeah.
So that's the Caravan and Motorhome Club,
Okay.
which we've been members of since 2003. And
Yeah.
are we cancelling our membership?
No.
No. Okay, get that. Or anyone says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. The Camping and Caravanning Club.
Yeah.
Now,
Again, we've been with them almost as long, haven't we?
2005.
Okay.
Because we wanted to go away one bank holiday, and I couldn't find any other site to go to, so I thought, let's join them. So we went to Hertford, didn't we,
Which
for the
gives
first time.
you more choice. I also
Yes.
felt that there were more sites they'd had in Scotland at the time as well.
Yeah, that's right. In really nice places.
Yeah.
The Glencoe site, because springs to mind. Also Moffat on your way
Yeah.
there and back.
Yeah.
A number of times we've been there, and you know it never disappoints, does it?
Being in both clubs means we do have a huge choice
Yeah.
of sites of club sites we can go to as well.
Yeah, that's right. So the difference with Camping and Caravanning Club, when you book a site, you have to pay a £25 deposit or 25% of the total booking, whichever is the higher.
They've always had a deposit system, haven't they?
Yeah, they've always had it.
Yeah.
They always have.
Yeah.
I think we've lost one deposit at one time because we
Yeah.
couldn't go.
Yeah.
If you cancel outside of 30 days, you get the deposit back. If
Yeah.
you cancel within 30 days, then you
You've
lose
lost
the
it, yeah.
deposit.
Yeah.
And they take the money on the day you arrive. And I don't think there's a way of not getting them to do that, but no. Whereas there is
Okay.
on the other club, you can tick that you don't
Yeah.
want them to take
It's
it.
worth mentioning that the Caravan and Motorhome Club charge a £5 deposit.
Yeah, yes. At the moment, it's £5.
Yeah, and I think the deposit system was introduced to the Caravan and Motorhome Club because of the people were speculatively booking campsites, and that was
Yeah.
happening post or during COVID when everyone wanted a camper van.
Yeah, and I think they say they did a members survey, didn't they? And
Yeah.
people wanted some form of deposit back, so
Yeah.
they brought in £25, reduced it to 20, and it's
And now
currently
it's now
£5.
which is hardly worth it really. It
No,
makes
and it's
no
going
difference,
back
yeah.
to. I mean, I've looked through some old magazines.
Yeah.
You look? There's an archive, and
Yeah.
they used to charge 50p
Yeah.
deposit back in 1980.
So with inflation, that's
yeah,
become
that's
£5.
probably
Yeah.
£5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, so we're talking about the camping and
I
caravanning
know.
club
I
now.
know.
Yeah. So
I'm just comparing the differences.
yeah, so as I said, 30 days. If you don't give notice within 30 days, you will lose the £25 or 25%.
Yeah.
In special circumstances, though, they will transfer your payment to
Yeah,
another date.
we have rang up the site and they've been understanding in some cases. You know,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
when
thinking of when we were going to Moffat at the beginning of the year, we contacted the contact centre because we didn't know we couldn't go until the day we were due to go. And we explained to them, you know, it's early January, we've got no heating.
Yeah.
And she very kindly transferred the money they'd taken that morning, because we
Yeah.
were due there, to a booking next year.
Okay. Yeah.
I think she told us we'd have to pay an extra £1 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. It'd gone up £1.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you can do that. You can transfer your deposit.
Well, that was the whole balance.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that obviously it depends on circumstances,
Yeah.
but they were very good to us. So I've always found their arrival instructions are good on the website.
Yeah.
They normally give you a little map and you know, where to go, sort of thing.
Okay.
When you get there, they take you to your pitch. And I said earlier, the other club, you choose your pitch. Normally they say to you, which area would you like to be in? Have you any special requirements, like not under a tree? And then they normally take you to the area they suggest, and they say, well, you can have this pitch or that pitch, so you do have quite a bit of choice.
Yeah, I mean, they ask you what sort of pitch do you prefer, and normally you can talk to them and, you know, say we prefer ones that are not under a tree or by the dog walk or whatever, and they will generally, if they're able to, accommodate you. So
yeah,
it's pretty good. I still prefer being able to choose our own pitch, but
no, but it's the closest thing to it, isn't it? Yeah, so normally they go on round a little bike, don't they? You follow them to where you're going. Their facilities where they're modernised are very good, like at Moffat. Some of them really need updating. I mean, Beadnell Bay springs to mind, doesn't it? That's quite dated, that toilet
and it was
block.
expensive as well. I mean, that was one of the most expensive sites we went to last year, Beadnell Bay.
Yeah, it was.
It was in the height of the summer.
It was in the middle of August, but it was non-electric, and it was £46 a night.
Yeah,
which we paid at other places for a service pitch. I know. A bit of a shock. The site was packed.
Yeah.
You know, it really was, because what you find with the camping and caravanning club is they allow more tents. The other club tend to allow tents at some sites, don't they? But they're normally in a specific area. With the camping and caravanning club, you can get tents in the middle. They often have like a grass area, and you can have tents and
the wagons
whatever
surrounding it.
Yeah, or you know, caravans or motorhomes on the grass. So you know, you get a lot more variety. I mean, we've seen a wigwam, haven't we?
Yeah, and what the other thing that's sort of coming about now is a lot of people going around with roof tents on the cars.
Yes.
And both clubs allow roof tents now, whereas I don't think the Caravan and Motorhome Club allowed people with roof tents before.
No, they're making a big thing of it on the Lakers magazine, aren't they? Pictures of it.
Which is good, gets more people into camping.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so the sites that we like of theirs, I mean, I've mentioned Glencoe, I've mentioned Moffat, Sandringham, we always used to like going there. The two clubs have sites close to each other, but we used to actually prefer the camping and caravanning club one, didn't we? It was nice. Then we've been to Dingwall, haven't we? Scone. Is another one.
Again, the Scottish sites, aren't they?
Yeah. Sherwood Pines. Like that. And like I said, we used to go to Hertford a lot because that was close to the town.
Nice site, Hertford. Very big site, but
Another thing to mention is the prices are per person, like with the other club as well. So for a friend Alison, that's great. She's not paying for two people; she's only paying for herself. Her dogs go free. I don't think there's a maximum number.
No, I mean, just going back to the per person thing, it can make it more expensive if you're going with a number of adults or non-teenagers. Because you're paying per person, so a lot of people moaning about the price of club sites are obviously going, perhaps as a group, so they will be paying more for that.
Yeah.
So it has its downsides as well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
But I think for people going on their own,
It's better for couples
yeah.
and single people, I suppose it's the
Well,
truth.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the one thing we do benefit with that club, the CCC,
Yeah.
is the age concession.
Yeah. Because we're oldies.
Because we're older, and we've had that since we were 55.
Yeah, that's
Don't
right.
think they do it
I
that
think it's
young
got to be
now.
60 now, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But the time we did it, it was 55.
Yeah,
so
we've always had a
benefited for
discount for doing that. So
X number of years.
yeah, that's right. But
Yeah.
so the CCC has always been cheaper than Caravan and Motorhome Club for that reason, hasn't it? Generally.
Generally, although in recent years we haven't really been making a lot of use of the CCC.
No.
We will be doing next year
Yeah.
because so we're going back to Ebury Hill.
Yeah.
We're on.
You mean
one
this
of
year?
This year, sorry. I keep thinking we're in.
No,
you know,
we're still in
because we
February.
haven't really started the year, so I
No.
keep thinking it
No.
must be next year. Yeah, Ebury Hill, where someone we used to know, Margaret, sadly,
yeah. She used to
sadly
run the
lost
place.
2
Yeah.
years ago. She was the warden with her husband Ray.
Yeah.
So we went there quite often.
Mm-hmm.
We're going there, and we're going to one near Dorchester,
Yeah.
which is called Morton, not to be confused with Morton in Marsh.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, looking forward to that.
And also, like we said earlier, they have certificated sites for
Yeah.
5 vans,
Yeah.
and we go every year to one of those, which is at South Valleyfield near Dundee,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to Bedale,
Yeah.
aren't we, for a Vanners meet-up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a collection of these smaller sites
I
as
don't
well.
know how
so-
many they've got. I think it's at least 1,000, it
Yeah.
may be more.
Okay.
So now we're going on to our experience of private independent sites, ones
Yeah.
through Tranquil Parks, Morris Leisure, which Morris Leisure, as we know, is affiliated
Two main
to the
groups
club.
that we've got are the Tranquil Parks group, which are adult-only sites. They're private sites that have got together in a group for marketing purposes, and they generally have sites that are adult-only. Places like Somers Wood.
Yes, which
Okay.
is one of our
Morris-
favourites, yeah.
Yeah, Morris Leisure is slightly different. They tend to be sites that accept children as well.
Well, they have separate areas, don't they? A family
that's true.
area,
That's true.
adult area,
Yeah.
adult only areas, and they have family areas.
okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and they have super pitches, which are like service pitches,
Yeah,
and ordinary pitches, hard standing, and they've
Yeah.
got sites at Ludlow, haven't they? Oxenhall, the one we've just been to, Stanmore Hall.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so no, so they're another group. So I think we've done most of their sites, apart from the one
The
near
Morris Leisure
Hereford.
ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
haven't been to that one yet. Yeah, so as I say, Tranquil Parks we've been to a few. Somerswood we're always going to. We've been to Green Acres.
Yeah.
We analysed our costs last year, and there was no real difference between the private sites we stayed at and the club sites.
No, so during the touring season, if you like, the average price was about £32 for all sites.
Yeah, and sort of the peak time was about £46 a night. That was the same for Granton-on-Spey as it was for Stonehaven, the
Yeah.
CMC site.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's not a lot of difference. What we've most pitches are often booked though for 2 people. So I don't know if there's any private sites that just do it for a single person, but most of them I've looked at are always for 2 people, and then you
Yeah,
add on
yeah.
extra people.
Yeah. So this is time to ask people to leave their comments about various sites. You know, how do you find it booking sites with different numbers of people? If you tour as a group, you know, perhaps there's 4 people in your motorhome or car or caravan.
Yeah.
Then, you know, do you find it more expensive at certain sites?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the one we were a bit shocked about was for an awning.
Yeah.
And that was at Luss, wasn't it? Because
Yeah.
Luss used to be a camping and caravanning club site. It's now a private site, so
Yeah.
we love
It's
staying there.
independent, isn't it?
It's independent,
Yeah.
yeah. So we would love staying there when it was a club site. So we thought, well, we'll go back. And when I booked it, I said, "Do we take in the awning?" Because it was the summer. And so we booked for an awning, didn't we? £12 extra.
Yeah, extra for an awning.
Yeah.
But I think that's to do with they don't want you putting awnings up next to the view. But you know,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
Well,
what it was, but
again, that's what we were saying, is that all private sites tend to have different rules and regulations, you know, and
yeah,
what you
yeah,
can and can't do and how much they charge for different things. And when you're booking a tour that involves several different sites, you know, knowing what you can take with you and what you can't take with you, it gets a bit
it gets a bit complicated. Yeah,
Yeah.
and often dogs are charged per day.
Mm.
I mean, they were at Poppy was £4.50 at Morris Leisure.
Yeah.
So if you've got a few dogs, that can sort of add up.
Mm.
And then another thing to bear in mind is a lot of them charge for day visitors.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can be sort of like £3. I think some of them are like £10. Whereas both the clubs, we've had people visit us, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've not had to, obviously we have to let them know someone's come, but we've never had to pay, have we, for them to come?
No.
No, so they aren't all 16 amp electric.
No, that's the other thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
So midwinter, 10 amp electric doesn't really cut it for heating the van. So you've got to factor in, you might want to be using another form of heating as well. Now, whether it's a diesel heater or whether you use your gas cylinders, gas heating, then, you know, but you've got to factor that in the winter.
Yeah. Some of them, I mean, a lot of them are 10, aren't they?
Yeah.
10 amp.
Well, there's not many in this country that's 6 amp.
No, that's can catch you out a bit sometimes in Europe. Sometimes they're only 6 amp, but no, that's another thing. And you can't always choose your pitch.
No.
Now, some of them, when you go through the booking, they give you a map, and so you can choose where you're going to go on the map.
Yeah, light sites allow you to do that.
Yeah, I mean, Huntley Castle comes to mind. That was one of the ones that we could. Blair Castle, was
Blair
it?
Drummond, yeah.
No, that other castle, Blair Athol.
Blair Athol. Okay.
Yeah, we could choose our pitch there. I think we could actually at Blair Drummond as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't always do that. Some of them will tell you, so some of them give you a map that you can choose. Others, when you get there, they say, oh, you're on pitch, blah, de blah.
Yeah.
And like we found at Stanmore Hall, you know, we asked to change because we didn't want to be up
as long
all
as they're
night.
accommodating, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, it's fine, but the site's full, then, you know, that's your pitch
that's
sort of thing.
And
yeah.
Bump it or leave it. And there were a couple of sites, a particular Welsh one I seem to remember, where they put us right next to a huge air conditioning unit for the restaurant.
Oh, that's right. I won't try and mention the name of that because I'll get it totally wrong. It's a very nice site because
for everyone else.
Yeah, but and we tried to put an awning up, didn't we? And the ground was just so hard we couldn't.
Couldn't get the pegs in, could we?
No, and then it rained anyway.
Probably won't be going there again.
And the other thing from my point of view is if I'm booking a tour, because sometimes we go away for 2 or 3 weeks, it takes me so much longer if I'm going to do all these different private sites. Yeah. I tried to do that on a Scottish tour to give us and viewers more variety one time, and it took me all day. Yeah. Because although they tend to have the same type of booking form, and it seems to be the same system a lot of them have got, of course each time you go onto one of their sites you've got to fill all that stuff in again, unless you know your PC fills a lot in for you, but you've got to go through all that again. So I found that took me longer. I had to be very careful the dates I was booking, because I did manage to book North Lede, didn't I? On the same day that we were at somewhere else.
Yeah, if you're booking it through the Camping and Caravan,
both clubs.
Both clubs. If you're booking it through the 2 main clubs, then they will tell you if your dates overlap, but obviously you can't get them on private sites.
So that's why I've got my own little database that I did years ago, but even then, that didn't stop me thinking, oh yeah, we'll arrive there then, and then we'll leave there then, and so we had to phone up, didn't we, and I don't know whether they charged us, I can't remember now. No. But so that's one thing from my point of view, that it's a lot easier if I can book a whole load of sites. I think for our Welsh trip coming up soon, I booked 3 club sites within about 5 minutes. That's the difference. Yeah, so like I say, I've managed to book 2 sites on one day. The other thing to bear in mind is they all require different amounts of deposits and when they want final payment. And this is another thing that deposits sometimes can be up to like 20% or
Well, sometimes
whatever.
they want payment up front.
Yeah, I've had to pay for the site that we're staying at on Anglesey before we go on the ferry. I've had to pay, because we're going for 2 nights, their rules were they want full payment.
Yeah.
So I've had to pay £72.
So would it have been different if you were going for more than 2 nights then? Or?
I think so. I think if you're going for 3 nights, I can't remember all the, it
Right.
got complicated,
Okay.
but because it was 2 nights, even though it was months ahead, they wanted full payment.
Yeah.
This is where like holiday cancellation insurance comes in, really, isn't it? Because
Yeah, they wanted. Yeah, well, that's right. They wanted you to book holiday cancellation insurance. Now, this is all okay if you're not going from site to site.
yes,
If you're booking your 3-week holiday in the middle of summer and you're going to one site, that's perfect.
fine. Yeah,
it works fine. Yeah.
It works fine, and I can understand then that people, if they're booking for 2 weeks or something, want to go to a site, then
Yeah.
these sort of things don't really come into it.
No.
But for us, if we're sort of touring around,
That's what we like to do. We like to tour.
yeah. And then the other thing that nearly caught me out a couple of times is that you then have to pay the balance, and it's not they'll take it when you arrive. It's no, they want it 7 days before, 28 days before.
Different days before.
Yeah, and they do send you an email normally to remind you, but sometimes they go to you and they go in your
It could disappear in the spam.
all your pile of emails. So I've started having them sent to me, but even then, if they go into spam or something like that, I haven't seen it. So then you have to log on and you have to pay the balance. So that for a tour I found quite more difficult.
Okay.
And then the other thing is, I suppose, we don't know what to expect.
No, that's right. They can vary in quality. Some are really good, some are pretty awful. Do you remember the spiders?
That was a CL though.
Yeah, no, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're never quite sure what to expect. You're going to get spiders or marble statues.
yeah, that's right. I mean, all these sites are quite interesting to go to because they all tend to be a little bit different. We've been to Kettleby.
Yeah.
Been there. I mean, that's a terrific site. So we like a lot of private sites. It's just when we're on a tour, they can be more complicated for us. But I think in summary, what I would say is we know not everyone's going to agree with our choices. That's fine. It would be, if we all like the same thing, it would be.
Well, it'd be a boring world, wouldn't
It
it?
would, wouldn't it? We like going to campsites. I know other people don't. They prefer to go to park-ups or small sites or whatever. I like to plan, which I know not everybody does, but I find that in the winter particularly gives us something to look forward to. And I sort of think, well, once I know where we're going to stay, then I can start thinking, well, what is around the area? You know, what can we visit and whatever.
Yeah.
So the other thing about the club sites is, I suppose, it's perhaps different for people who haven't been doing this as long as we have. Just 22 years, isn't it?
20 odd years.
Yeah.
I know some people have been doing it longer, but
it's the clubs are part of our motorhome heritage, really, aren't they? They're when we were in lockdown, we'd sit in the van having our lunch and imagine we were at Bunree. Those sites come back into my memory, and you know, if they weren't there tomorrow, I'd be quite.
Yeah, so there's an emotional attachment.
There is, which I realise not a lot of people have. So yeah. So in conclusion, we like the sites that the 2 clubs do for various reasons, and we also like private sites.
Yeah.
We don't think any are a particular. You know, it depends what you want at the time and where you want to go.
Yeah, that's right.
So on that bombshell.
So Jenny's video is finished.
Sorry. Did you want to sum up yourself?
I do have my own video now.
Well, I've got all these notes that I spent ages on.
Of couldn't stop you. Let us know what your thoughts are on campsites, and really we wanted to talk about campsites rather than park-ups, rather than wild camping, rather than...
Because we haven't got a lot of it. We have done some. We've done some pub stopovers, but
Yeah.
we haven't done enough to say what we liked or disliked.
No,
We've
no.
had a few.
Had a few not so good experiences of pub stops, particularly. We thought that might be an idea, but ones we have tried haven't turned out very well.
No, and at the end of the day, I like to have a good night's sleep. Poppy, you know, if there's noises or anything like that, she's up.
Yeah.
You know, and then we don't get a good night's sleep. We're worried about her. So
yeah, she hears any noises around her, doesn't
I like the security of being on a campsite, but
Right,
I know not everybody has that concern.
So thanks for watching this far.
Yeah.
I hope you found it interesting. Like I say, leave your comments and let us know what you like, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye
then.
then.